my friends, I've gathered you all here in front of this...
this altar with a dead body on it? Why? I didn't know I was here.
I thought we were going to eat it.
All right, everybody, welcome to the autopsy.
Can we eat part of it? Oh!
Do you have the Ring of Namira? What's going on?
Yeah, did you do the whole quest to get it? Because that's the whole reason we're here. You're supposed to be Namira's new champion.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so now you gotta go back to Markarth.
Hold on.
Get the priest.
Hold on.
Priest of Arkay, and you bring him back here.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Give him. We'll convince him to sleep, and then you have to eat his body.
Did you sign your liability waiver before you did all this?
I sure did.
Look,
the fine print takes too long to read.
Okay, well, listen.
Saying.
Like the other human corpses are getting cold, and we
I hate cold corpses.
Yeah,
Can we
we
heat
can't.
them up or something?
Yeah, I mean, we can't really reheat them. We're in an old temple.
Can we get that flame thing that you had in the FNAF? It's just like it's roasted.
The one that
But they're warm again.
depending on the university, and either I or Matt Pat or both of us wielded that.
That's true.
We kind of both did.
It's a joint effort.
Spiritually.
Spiritually.
I did it more spiritually. He did it literally.
Actually, now there's this sort of what if your voice is like the mental voice that's controlling Matt Pat's.
Oh, the voice in his head.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a theory. A game theory. Welcome to Undercooked Analysis, everybody. We are here to do more Short Story 1 stories. And I figured it was appropriate to have at least some of the gang here for this one. We have, besides my ever-faithful companion, Kaela.
Hi.
We also have AJ.
Hello.
We have Gwen.
Hello.
And we have Nate.
No.
Hello,
Wait.
I am Nate.
Nate, you look so great today.
No, I always look good.
What happened to you?
I was going to say you have a lot more hair than I used to see with you, both on the face
I took
and...
a vitamin supplement. Nate.
One vitamin supplement does a lot.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta pull the mask off. Matt Hawley! What are you doing here?
I'm
You were-
Nate. What are you talking about?
I'm
Turns out
fooled.
it's imposter!
Could you imagine like a commercial? It's like I dealt with hair loss my whole life, and then turns his head around and says, with hair grow.
One dose.
That's
all it takes.
It is I, Matt. I have returned from realms beyond.
After reading,
I drove 30 minutes to get here. What's going on, guys?
Not that far beyond, I guess.
you were actually just recently in the last episode where we forced you to read a couple chapters of Lair of the White Worm.
It gave me an
I'm
existential
so sorry.
crisis.
I just read the synopsis and it had like 5 mental damage. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, roll for psychic damage.
I definitely lost some IQ.
Well, we read that it didn't help that we read the chapter. We started the chapter where someone just unloads an entire round of ammunition into a mongoose. And then at the end of then they talk for a while. And then the next chapter I read ahead, like, oh yeah, he just buys another mongoose.
It was like the Eric Andre meme where he just unloads into Hannibal and then like pauses, reloads, and unloads, and like, who killed the mongoose? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Is a mongoose big enough to fit that many bullets?
This one was.
I guess
They
it's a
stretch.
big old
They
mongoose.
stretch. Okay.
They
Yeah.
it's just like their body gets.
There's no wrong way to shoot a mongoose. That sounds
They're
terrible.
like slinkies, I guess. You know?
Slinky. I mean, they are pretty slinky.
Do we insert a disclaimer here, like no mongooses
No.
were hurt during the recording of this
No,
episode?
but at
wait,
least
is
one was violently killed in Bram Stoker's imagination. So
Dumb question: is it mongooses or mongeese?
I believe
Mongoosin.
it's mongoose. No! I get that reference, but no!
yes. Oh man.
There's a dog behind me. She doing dog things.
Oh no!
Hey,
No.
hey,
No.
Hey, take
my
your-
pillow. My pillow.
She's mad. Here,
No.
wait.
Yeah.
No, I got an idea.
Okay.
Gracie, go over there.
No!
These are nice pillows. Give me
No,
nice pillow.
mine now.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
For pillow.
Can you give her one of her other ones?
No, not while we're recording.
Like,
Oh,
my life is a
What are
business.
we reading
Oh.
today?
Well, okay. I felt it was. I mentioned it. I think I mentioned it a little earlier, but it felt like it was appropriate because the very first time we read anything by Short Story 1, it was in the presence of random encounters.
Lucky us.
You're welcome.
Well, I mean, we discovered something kind of amazing. Yeah, we had a good time, right?
We did.
Which one was that?
The 5
remember,
stories
Hey, please donate to my charity.
Oh yeah, I loved those.
That's why I figured you'd get a kick out of those. So we've got short story 1, The Enigma That They Are. They've sent us quite a few of these, and there's 10 more that we haven't gotten to, but I think we might just maybe read like 4 or 5 of them.
We'll
and
pick
each of
the
us,
juiciest.
we'll pick the ones whose titles sound. So there's 5 of us here. We can each pick one that sounds interesting, and then we can read it and decide which one comes out on top.
Excellent. That sounds
Okay.
great.
Now, as we've read a few more since we had that session together,
Okay.
and we're kind of like baffled and amazed at the same time of this enigma that is short story 1.
Excellent.
We still know very, very little about them, and how much of this is deliberate, and how much of this is genuine confusion. But they have a style.
And they keep sending it, like, they're like, hey, great episode, here's more.
Yeah, which I appreciate. So thank you, Short Story 1, for supplying us with this stuff. It's kind of addictive, to be honest.
Excellent.
So I'm
I
gonna
get
pull.
my dose of short story 1.
So I'm gonna pull up the list of stories here.
I snort short story 1.
Here, that was a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
All
I
right.
practice in the bathroom mirror.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna read the titles out loud, so you know what we have to choose from, and then we'll go around, and each of us can pick one to
Or,
read.
I mean,
We have.
do we want to save the titles for when we read them like in the next episode, or?
I guess so. I mean, why
I
don't
don't
we?
want them to judge us for our choices. Come on.
Well, you know what? Maybe let's leave it as a surprise. So go ahead and take a look at these titles, everybody, and then find 1 or 2 or 3 that sound interesting to you, and then we'll pick an order to go around. Pick one that sounds appealing, and we'll do that one, and then we'll move on.
I'm tempted to.
Usually these are very short, so we can just short story 1 living up to their moniker, of course.
I feel like while we're reading this, the Jeopardy theme should be playing or something.
Future David can get on that, right? Future David,
Yes. Thank you, future David.
You're a doll.
you're welcome, past Gwen. All right.
So who's going first is the question.
I mean, if we want to do it clockwise, it'd be AJ.
Oh, good thing I picked one.
What did you pick?
I choose story 3. Something keeps multiplying inside my apartment.
That sounds promising.
Right?
All right, something.
I've had this experience before, so
Oh yeah.
Oh no!
Yes.
Wait, I'm curious.
we'll see if it's the
Popcorn.
same
It was
thing as the
popcorn.
multiplying.
It was popcorn.
I think the story is based on my life, so
Are they all based on your life?
I haven't read them all yet.
Well, I mean, but the ones we've read previously,
Oh,
like.
yes, those ones were.
So
absolutely.
So did people ever donate to your charity?
No.
Oh,
Aw.
rest
No,
in
but
peace,
some
everybody.
cool people kept reading my stories on their podcast.
The rumor come out. Does AJ is short story 1? Okay.
All
All
right.
right. How's that looking?
It looks good.
All right. So, keeping with the same idea, AJ, why don't you start, and then we'll
Sure.
go clockwise around.
Sure.
All right. It started off with an empty water bottle, and it was just standing there on the table. And I ignored it at first, but then it started to get to me. I decided to throw it away by going down to the bin rooms and putting it in the large bins. I then went back to my flat and was pleased that I threw away an empty plastic water bottle. Then in the morning, I saw that the very same water bottle had somehow come back, and it really started to affect me in so many ways. How could it come back after I disposed of it?
Someone, there's a vindictive recycler. You didn't put it in the right bin, so they put it back in your room.
That sounds most probable.
Yeah, at the end. Well, I like the use of bins and flats, so that gives us a sense of where.
Interestingly, the title was a bait and switch since it says apartment.
Yeah.
Oh.
Throwing us
Move to a flat.
yet another curveball here, short story 1.
I grabbed the empty water bottle and I went down to the large bin room. What?
I think it's just.
And threw it away. When I went back to my apartment, there were now 2 empty bottles. There were now 2 empty water bottles. They were multiplying, and I was terrified. And some empty bottles had different labels and color.
Wait, some? I thought there's only 2. What?
This is
That could be some.
it's short story 1.
I just grabbed both the empty plastic bottle and threw them away in the large bin store. Then I went back to my apartment and was glad to see that there were no more empty plastic bottles anymore. I was at ease and everything made sense again.
What a existential crisis to be having. Oh no. water bottles appearing in my apartment.
I'm not even sure I would notice that they weren't ones I just left there.
Yeah.
That's true. Then, when I woke up after a good night's sleep, I was horrified to find that the 2 plastic bottles I had thrown away had now come back and multiplied into many bottles of water and fizzy drinks, chocolates, and empty crisp packets. What was going on? And I was losing my mind now and didn't know how to beat this thing that was multiplying all the times and always increasing. My apartment was looking messy now, and when I threw away the rubbish, I knew they would come back and multiply again. So just all the trash.
He threw a party and he didn't know it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's just going on. I'm waiting for the other shoe to
He
drop.
got so hammered he forgot about the party.
A day later, the rubbish I had thrown away had come back again, and this multiplied even more into empty water bottles, empty chocolate wrappings, and even half-eaten tangerines. Then I knew that there was only one way of killing this thing that was always multiplying and evolving. I had to burn my apartment.
What? Wait.
I poured gasoline all over my apartment, and I knew as I watched my apartment burn from the outside that it was killing whatever was multiplying and evolving. Then I suddenly remembered that my roommate was a messy slob that never cleaned up after himself.
I couldn't believe what I had done, and I could hear him screaming from the open window.
I knew it. I knew it because I'm the messy roommate, just as an FYI.
So let's just take a moment to just appreciate how much this guy overreacted.
Yeah. Oh no! It keeps multiplying. Oh no!
This is what I love about some short story one stories. It's just like, oh, they go into a thing. The narrator goes into a thing, and then conveniently forgets that this thing happened. Oh no!
So
And there's the horror.
There's not very many reasons why you should burn an apartment down. I mean,
First of all-
sometimes you see a spider in your bedroom, and then it's gone. That might be okay. Or your neighbor's python gets into the plumbing.
What?
Yeah, that's okay.
You act like you're talking from experience here.
Or
He's burned down 2
shut
apartments.
up.
Explains all the arson incidents and.
Are you really telling me that I have an overly messy roommate is not the same as there's a spider in my bedroom or there's an anaconda in the pipes?
Well, I mean, the spiders are probably going to go hang out with the messy roommate because he's going to get all the flies and cockroaches. And...
So you really need to burn it all down.
You know, if spiders ate cockroaches, I'd appreciate them even more, though. Just saying.
Yeah, they're not.
Like a couple of spiders that might. Maybe if you pay them enough.
Yeah, I'm like, this is the problem with spiders. They don't eat cockroaches.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need more things that eat cockroaches.
Amen.
This is why there's so many cockroaches.
Yeah.
Like, no one wants to eat them. My cat, maybe. Nobody else.
He doesn't even want to eat them. He just wants to play with them.
My pet cockroach.
Alright, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Story 1
Yeah.
for short story 1.
I'll give them that. I will give this a freshness rating of, man, this place is kind of a mess. That seems pretty good.
I'm giving it a rating of, why does this always happen to me?
I'm gonna give this. Wow, he is really gonna lose out on his deposit after this.
I give this almost good enough because spider, but you know spider in story, so why do?
My personal ranking for this is extra crispy, like the roommate.
Oh.
Hey, we had just made the joke about the extra crispy.
Extra crispy.
Corpse that was on the table.
Uh-huh.
Yay!
Oh, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. Yeah, we usually try not to overcook them too much. All right, moving along. Matt, which one intrigues you?
Number 7. If you are 30 years old and have a car, job, and a house, then you are a failure.
Oh, that sounds promising.
Now, here's my question. Do you have to own the house?
Well, I think the twist is if you're specifically 30.
Oh.
29 and 31, you're a success, but only if you're 30. You're a failure.
It does say still have a car on this one.
And still
I said
have
if
a
you
car.
haven't managed to get rid of yours.
Oh.
Like, if
Yeah.
you haven't driven your car into a ditch, lit your house on fire, and quit your job on the spot, like...
Maybe this is important to the story.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
maybe we
Well,
should
I mean,
read
I'm
it.
still trying to figure out what diabolical and bizarrely short-sighted logic this short story one character is going to have.
Already there's like that humor of like, you know how there's all those articles that are like, by the time you are 30, you should be doing these 30 things.
You should be a millionaire
And I've done, like,
astronaut.
none of them.
Yeah.
Crypto millionaire.
You should
astronaut.
own Microsoft and Macintosh.
You should
Yeah.
also
And
be a
Mars.
vampire. Okay. If you are 30...
Only Macintosh. You should own Microsoft and one Macintosh computer.
There
is
you
what that
go.
means.
I mean,
The entirety of Microsoft and just one Macintosh.
One Macintosh computer is probably worth the entirety of Microsoft price tags, am I right? If you are 30 and are still driving a car, then you are a failure in life, and I'm so sorry if this sounds mean. By a minimum standard, you should have figured out by now how to get someone else to drive for you, and even make enough money to pay for someone else to drive for you on a constant daily basis.
Oh my god.
This sounds like a lot of those really crappy self-help gurus. I have figured out how to never need or drive a car ever again in my life, and I never have to waste money on such dull killing machines ever again. I don't have to worry about pedestrians, cyclists, or, in general, traffic. I have always hated driving, and now I have figured out a way to never drive a car ever again.
I'm waiting for the inevitable. It's because I kill people or something.
I'm trying really hard not to reach
Maybe
such
that's the car.
dull killing machines.
Yeah.
It's so funny. My sister just turned 30, which is one of
You
those.
should send her this.
Yeah, I should. Well, she doesn't. So she doesn't have a car. So and she has
So
not.
she's exempt from this then.
No, she has not. Yeah, she has not driven in like years. So I'm like, oh my gosh, she's succeeded.
So far.
So far.
Two more things to figure
that's
out.
one check mark
For your sister. Okay.
Yes.
for my sister-in-law.
But I think the rest of us are all failing so far.
Yeah.
So far. Okay.
I mean, this isn't all or nothing. It says and.
And
conjunction is-
oh.
So you have to have all of them. One doesn't cut it. Two doesn't cut it.
The first... never mind. Let's just keep reading.
Okay. If you are 30 and still have a job, then that means you're an even bigger failure in life because you should have figured out a way to never have a job ever again. Or you should have made enough money to never work again. Your parents must have failed you in so many ways if you require a job to survive in society, and jobs are such an outdated idea and tool to use to pay bills with. Also, on a side note, if you are 30 years old and are still paying bills and paying for other things, then you are an even bigger and extreme failure.
Oh boy.
Even bigger and extreme.
What a judgmental
Yeah, they're going to have to
Judgy
eat. They're going to have
judger.
to my
judgy
parents.
judgerson.
Judgy jerk.
My sister has a job, so okay, that's
Oh, no.
that's one of two.
You should have figured out a way to never have to pay for bills or rent ever again by age 30. And my gosh, you must have such low imagination and intelligence if you're still paying bills and rents. If you are 30 and you own a home, then I must say that you are a failure. By 30, you should have figured out a way to live at a place but that house or flat never being yours, so that you are truly never responsible for it. If you're still cooking, cleaning, and doing other household chores by age 30, sorry, but you are truly the king of failures. You should have figured out a way to never do those things.
On a side note, though the couple who owns this house I am secretly residing in are starting to notice something is amiss, like missing food in the fridge and a little mess here and there, I've got to be more quiet and more careful or they will figure me out. I've saved so much money though. Oh, okay, there it is.
Yeah, that's actually a lot more. That's a lot more genial.
Yeah.
Than like the other ones. He's just. This is just people under the stairs, just without the gimp suits and the murder.
The borrowers.
I'm trying to figure out who he's getting to drive him around, though. Like, is he hiding in the
Oh,
trunk of this
yeah.
couple's car?
Yeah, I think so.
And being like, I'll just go where they go.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's like you're a hostage, though, as well. It's like, I can't go anywhere I choose.
Honestly,
I have to go where they
I thought he
go.
was just talking about the bus.
You know, I like your version of this story, Matt.
Well, he never. We never specify how our protagonist here, our narrator, our advice giver, is transportation. I was also thinking maybe he's just taking a bus. Maybe it's nothing that
Well,
dramatic.
he does say by minimum standard you should have figured out. So
So that's the big minimum.
minimum if you're traveling.
You don't have to travel if you're hiding out in someone's house and all the food and all the stuff just comes to you.
Yeah, that's true.
And then if you once you learn their Wi-Fi password, you're all set.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe
okay,
you can steal their credit card, too.
can we just, completely honestly, though, if you read a story on social media, like it was like a CNN story or something like that said 30-year-old living in someone's house for however long without being detected, finally caught, would you not have, like, an ounce of respect for them? Like, they must have been really badass. How did they do that? How did they survive that long? The king of hide and seek. How can they, like,
World
I would
champion.
be like, respect.
It's like you got away with this for 10 years? How'd you do that?
There would be a real part of me that would struggle not to be a little, like, impressed, like, whoa, pretty cool, man. Nice job.
Honestly, I gotta agree with AJ on that. It's like, really, like, I respect the whole squatter thing and nobody can hear you squat, you know?
Like, my knee jerk would be like, oh,
That
creepy.
side of the room.
No, like the knee jerk would be, oh, that's creepy. And then after the fact, like reading more about, oh, so-and-so had been living in this house rent-free without being detected for so many months, I'd be like, dang. That's like, the follow-up is like, wow.
Okay.
Like, I need to get good, man.
No, you don't.
Like, I really am a failure.
Sneak 100.
Yeah.
All right, so I will give that one I'll give that one a standard 7 out of 10. I think it's pretty good advice. That I'm glad that WikiHow gave us that article.
I give it a 0 people detected in my house.
Oh, I'm gonna give that an Encanto spoiler.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, hey, you could, the very least, you could just fix the drywall.
Yes.
At the very least, if you're going to squat and behind someone's floorboards or whatever, you should just fix the drywall.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Sorry for those who have not seen Encanto.
I mean, it's not that big of a spoiler.
I was gonna say, you gotta read between the lines here. Or
Yeah.
between the walls, as it were.
Well, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about the spoiler.
We don't talk about that
talk about
spoiler.
it.
No.
I give it a nat 20 on deception.
I give it a please don't creep me out of my house tonight, please.
Are you looking at...
Short story one's been living there for a while.
Yeah.
Well,
We're the couple.
we established that you've been that AJ is short story 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I'm the roommate who burned alive for leaving too many
Oh, no.
kidnappers out.
They're all true, every one of these stories.
Alright.
All right.
I'm selling the movie rights.
All right, is it me? My turn to pick one?
It is
Yes,
yours.
I am.
I have chosen number 8. I'm just trying to bury my father, but drivers keep honking their horn.
I was really intrigued by this.
Yeah, I'm very curious
That
about
was
this
my
one.
second pick.
Okay. I'm just trying to bury my father, but all of the cars are just horning at me, and they
Not honking, they're horning at me.
I'm thinking this. This is European, or some. I don't want to say.
Like, is this a word choice? Like,
I've
did they
sometimes-
specifically go, I'm using the word horning?
I've sometimes wondered if
If there's some translation errors going on.
I've wondered about that, but I don't know with short story
just
1.
horning at me. You read it Britishly.
Well, I'm just trying to bury my father, but all the cars are just horning at me, and they know that they can just swerve out of the way. I couldn't afford a funeral, so I decided to start digging the middle of a road where cars come and go. That's not a bad idea. Let me get to the end of the paragraph, and I'll explain why that makes sense.
By the way, I for all the people who are listening that are not American. Is horning a phrase that you guys use? I just need to know. Okay,
I
anyway.
wonder. I keep getting beeped at, and drivers keep shouting at me like I am crazy, but my father always told me that he wanted a proper burial, and never in a million years did he want to be cremated. I promised my father that I will bury him no matter what, and I wasn't prepared to throw away that promise. Now, I will say, there is an old myth that says if you bury a body in a busy place like a roadway or something, Bokors, evil voodoo sorcerers, won't be able to steal the body secretly and make a zombie out of it.
Oh.
So there's some, I've heard that story said that it's a way to keep people from stealing your loved one's remains and making them the undead. So
Is there also something about burying something at a crossroads that...
I mean,
It didn't say it was a crossroads.
there's like a
road.
summon box that you can bury at a
I
crossroads.
was like, what if you bury a person in the summon box?
I don't think that's part of the things you need in the summon box.
Yeah, it was just,
it'd be kind of weird.
The wall, see
It'd be
what
kind of
sticks.
weird if you bury someone at a crossroads, and classically the devil shows up and just goes, "Look, I was expecting you to bury money or like a
Take
fiddle,
this body.
but you want me? You're just giving me a corpse. I mean, I can work with that.
No. One of the things I think you're supposed to put in there is something that's important to you. So if you are using the corpse of your father as that item,
Oh,
I'm thinking too hard about this.
It depends on how you feel about your father.
I'm not
but-
sure I'm thinking hard enough.
He's 3 steps ahead of us.
Okay, I dug in the road and cars were swaying past me, and some idiots in cars just stopped and were staring at me. That annoyed me the most, and you dug in the road, and I knew that my deceased father would be so proud of me for fulfilling my promise to him. It got so irritating when cars were horning, and I just had to ignore it. The hole in the road was going to be big enough to bury something in it. I was also going to lay down a stone in the middle of the road so that all drivers could see and come to know who my father was.
Oh my god.
That seems ill-advised.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What is the speed limit on this road?
Good question.
Also, is this a concrete road, or I'm assuming it's?
Are you digging the road? Are you like digging the road initially with a jackhammer and then like?
It doesn't mention tools. Just digging.
This is one of those things we want.
Are swerving.
We want details, please.
Yes.
I mean, I know short story 1 characters tend to have very one-track minds.
Very,
but,
very.
But I kind of want to know what are a little bit more of the details on this.
yeah, I'm kind of curious.
As I had finally dug a hole deep enough on the road, I laid down my father. Then a man stopped his car and begged me to let him out another body in the hole, into the hole. Put another body into the hole. He had murdered someone and he needed to get rid of it. The hole was big enough for 2, so I allowed him to put the body he has in his car in the hole in the middle of the road.
I wasn't expecting this part.
Okay.
You're like, no, you have to go get rid of it properly now that you've murdered it illegally.
No, this is my hole. Get it. You
Get your own. Go dig your own. Then another man stopped his car and begged me to bury the person in the back of his car into a hole I made on the road. The third man's person was still alive, and I told him only dead people can be buried. The third man then shot the person in the back of the car, and I buried the person he killed into the hole I dug in the road. I laid down the stone, and now drivers can see the stone as they swerve past it. I'm hoping a drunk driver doesn't drive into it.
What?
I kind of like the ridiculousness of this.
I was waiting for this to make sense, and it doesn't.
No.
This is I mean, so far the other 2 had like little like, oh, okay, that's fun. This one's probably the most unhinged one so far.
There's real
of this
WTF
set.
energy going on.
Yeah,
here.
seriously.
Like there's...
Swing,
I don't get it.
Swing and a miss.
I don't get it.
Swing and a miss for this one, admittedly, but
Honestly, I was waiting for his dad to not be dead.
Oh.
yeah. That would have been. That felt like where it was going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the energy I think we got out of the like man who wanted to bury somebody who wasn't dead. So I said no. So he shot him. So I said yes. Like that level of back and forth of like, oh, now he qualifies to be buried in the hole. I see nothing wrong with this any longer. I think that's the twist of it.
Yeah.
Probably, I guess. I mean, like, you know, he stood for what he wanted to do. Like, only dead people go in the hole. And it's like, oh, okay, I can make the guy dead. And it's like Monty Python skit, except the guy's actually dead.
There you go. Yeah.
He's not dead. He's just resting, pining for the fjords.
I was a businessman doing business. It's a hole in the middle of the road. Gonna make it 10 feet deeper.
Oh my gosh.
I will give this story. Cement shoes are cheaper.
I give it 3 dead people in a hole in the road.
I give it beep, beep, I'm a Jeep.
I give it... This is going to be a pothole one day.
Oh gosh, I don't even know what to say. I guess I give this a take one down, pass it around.
Oh man, that's a good one. All right, Gwen.
I am distressed because I have 2 that I want, and I was hoping that somebody else would have picked one of them. But I feel like I have to go with I want my room to be red.
Ooh, that's interesting. All right, you'll have to let us know what the other one. Other ones
I'm
were the
praying
end.
Kayla picks it.
If they're short enough, depending on how long this is going, you know, if they're short enough, we could always do a round 2, but we'll see. Then we can do all 10. All right. This is only 3 paragraphs.
Ooh.
Wow.
I want my room to be red. I really wanted to paint my room red, and I don't really know why, but I just felt like it, you know? I think red suits me as a person. I got a person from the street to come into my home, and as I shot him through the head, he had yellow blood instead of red. I was so furious, and my walls were now covered in yellow blood when instead I wanted red blood. I was so angry because I hate the color yellow, and it's way too positive and good for someone like me. I want fury, anger, and rage covered in war, and that is what red represents.
I just like the fact that it's like...
Right off the bat.
In all honesty, everything I'm just like, yeah, okay, I could see him shooting. The yellow blood is what gets me right now. I'm like...
Right? It went like 0 to 60, where I was like, I was expecting us to get to like shooting someone by the end of the 3rd paragraph,
Yes.
so we shot him in the 2nd sentence, and oh my gosh, they've got yellow blood. Why?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Then I gathered my willpower to go back outside, and I got another person to come into my home, and I was so pleased. I was going to splatter his red blood all over my walls to give me a nice red color. When I shot him through the head, I couldn't believe that his blood was purple.
That's my favorite color.
Purple is a disgusting color, and I despise purple as the color is so meek and cowardly and
Meek.
quiet.
Oh, no! No!
I knew he'd return.
Oh, no.
Purple is the color that gets invaded, and I'm not a purple person. My walls were covered in purple now, and I need to get rid of it.
Okay, I want to argue so hard with this evaluation of purple.
Yeah, same.
Because it is not...
Absolutely. Meek and cowardly, excuse me?
Like, this is like royalty colors.
Yeah.
Well, not when it comes out of someone's head.
Well, that's you bleeding royal blood. Like, you literally
Yes.
just shot, like, the Prince of Wales or something. Like, I don't know.
Probably. We should check on that guy.
Yeah, we really should.
I now am questioning, what world is this that everyone's blood is something different?
Short story one's world.
I kept failing as I kept shooting people with colored blood from orange, black, silver, and gray. Then when I shot someone with the color blood magenta, it gave me an idea, because I still had the dead guy with the colored blood, and he had quite a bit of yellow blood in him even though he is dead. I mixed the magenta-colored blood with the yellow-colored blood, and it gave me red-colored blood.
That's not how that works.
I was overjoyed and couldn't believe it. I was able to cover my walls in red blood.
Wait.
Magenta plus yellow
Magenta,
equals
no.
red?
Can I just say I love the comment down here that says Queen of DIY?
But then if you go down, I like the... Sorry to break this to you, but it'll turn a dark purple.
Yeah!
Oh my goodness.
Is that the point? That for like a moment it seemed red?
Can I just say, like, he keeps getting... I don't know. This person keeps getting other people to come into their house. And, like, it doesn't even say how. It's not like, I've got free candy. It's like, come on in. Step over that body and just stand against this wall while I...
Details are not in short story one's wheelhouse, apparently.
And
No,
besides, the importance is the color of the blood, not the
not
fact
who
that...
the blood belonged to,
It's
apparently.
true.
There's no connection to anybody. It's just, wham, it just hits you with this bizarre thing.
Yeah.
But again, it makes every character that they write about, which is usually just whoever the narrator is, just the most unhinged person you've ever met. That said, I want to rate this story 0 to 10 because purple of their evaluation of purple. My favorite color. How dare you?
I'm gonna... Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do with this.
I give it a crimson brick out of royal scarlet.
Ooh.
It's like going down Home Depot with like little swatches for, you have to test against blood stains and figure out which one you want the room to be.
Gotcha.
I tell you, this person would... I tell you, if the red wedding would have gone very differently... If everybody had
if you
different
just been
colored
invited?
blood. Yeah.
I give this problem would have been solved if he shot the Kool-Aid man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Blah.
He could have given them a blood test, too, before he shot them. Like, there's in-between steps.
Goodness gracious.
Clearly he expected them all to have red blood. Which is reasonable. It's a reasonable expectation.
Although all of it dries brown.
How many people have you shot?
Oh.
I haven't shot anybody. I've done blood tests.
I've never just left blood drying on the wall, okay? Like, don't look at me like I'm weird.
I looked at on the wall. Okay, I give it a 0 out of 10 because it's made you suspicious of me.
I give it... I give it 0 out of 10 because, wow, they do not know their color theory. Don't they know red is a primary color? You can't make it.
It's true, you cannot make red. I'm sorry. Better luck next time.
Wow. Yes. Well, the roulette, we have one more on the roulette unless you want to try and spin it one more time.
Ooh,
What are you feeling, Kayla?
Oh, boy. There's so many good ones that are... I was supposed to be maliciously compliant with my neighbors, but it failed.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Is that the one or no?
Nah, but go for it.
All right.
All right. We'll see how we're feeling after this
Maybe
one.
it's the good one.
I'm sure it's the good one.
All right, here we go. Actually, this has enough paragraphs. We can get most of this in it.
I tried to be maliciously compliant with my neighbors, and it failed. But let me first tell you about my neighbors. I hate them, and I don't know what it is about them, but they seem to be so full of life and always moving forward and improving themselves, and they can even try to pass that enthusiasm on to me, and it just pisses me off.
How dare they?
They have a wonderful garden and house, while mine is nothing like that, as I cannot find the determination to make it look good, and I'm just not that kind of person. Lately, they want to extend their garden, and it would go over onto mine.
Oh, this is a property dispute. Okay.
Okay.
At first, I said no because of simply saying no and the fact that I don't like them. And I didn't care what the reasons were as I wasn't listening carefully. They started to moan and nag at me, and you know how successful people complain. And they have that high-pitched voice with them and the sense entitlement. That's how they were complaining. They were competing in some garden competition. How pretentious is that? A garden competition, and it's just so narcissistic. Do these people and people like them not realize that they are all going to die one day and everything else is also going to die?
This is clearly someone who's just so angry right now that they're like, yeah,
I get a fun word in my paragraph.
Oh no.
Anyway, I remembered the dead body I had buried in my garden about 10 years ago, way before these moved in. I then decided to let my neighbors increase the size of their garden onto mine, and so they did. For months, my neighbors were showing off their new garden, and then I decided to privately call the police and tell them my neighbors have human remains.
Whoa! Okay.
David.
I'm just saying this took a turn.
Oh, it did.
A real big turn. I was laughing when the police found the human remains in their new garden and also destroying their garden, making them lose their competition and huge cash prize money. And I buried the dead person I had killed so very deep into the ground, and so the police went all in. My neighbors were distraught, but when my neighbors told the police about recently increasing their garden size and going on to mine, that's when I went, oh shit, and I didn't think it through, and I guess I was too busy wanting to destroy the dreams and hopes of my neighbors. The police want to talk to me now.
I mean, honestly, this one was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I like the twist at the end because it double twists back on itself.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just like, to me, this is a short story, one character in a nutshell. They just don't think things through, like, ever.
Well, you can tell.
I just love that, but then they said the thing, it was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Well, damn it, I didn't think they would actually bring up facts. Or, details like that.
I could have gotten away with it if it didn't, talk to people.
I do like the fact in the paragraph where I said at first I said no, that whole one. They're just using random phrases just to show how angry they are. Like, they're just so narcissistic. A garden competition. It's so you're just
So how
pretentious.
like,
oh my gosh.
this is clearly that actually is the definition of someone who's angry and just isn't thinking.
What the fuck? Interesting idea, but honestly, the writing could use a little work. A lot of run-on sentences.
I think
This is nothing compared to some of the other ones we've read.
I will
It's
say,
true.
I think the run-on sentences work in this one because it's from someone who's so angry they're not even
And rambly.
And rambly.
But they're
not-
all the same character. I'm convinced they're all the same
They're
character.
all just-
This is
I-
one
Yeah.
crazy person.
I'm convinced this guy is talking to his lawyer right now.
Your stream of consciousness kind of thing.
This story is
Yeah.
just the story of one crazy person's life. It's the short story universe or whatever, short story verse or whatever.
Short story
no.
one cinematic universe.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hoo boy. Okay. Well, random, rather intense swear word aside, this one was pretty goofy. I'll give it one dead body in the yard, under the yard.
I give it 2 really fun words to say in a short story out of unintentionally funny.
I gave it 3 undead moldy green bean finger plants in the garden.
Green bean finger plants.
Green bean finger plants are my favorite vegetable.
Green bean finger plants.
I give it an actually decent explanation of nihilism.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh.
Yeah. True. True.
Philosophy 101.
Wow.
Story 1.
I did not see that coming. But you're not wrong. I give this... Goodness gracious, I don't know. I give it a Gracie grunt. That's what I'll give it.
That was good.
It's the sound of the body in the garden.
I'm not quite dead. I've been buried, but I'm not quite dead.
Well, if you shoot him, can you throw him in the garden then? Now he's dead. It's okay.
Oh, man. Well, rather than dig through the remaining 5, unless y'all want to, I think
I say we do the one that Gwen wanted.
Oh, we don't have to do that. I was going to say we should vote on which one of these was the most unhinged.
Oh,
yeah.
good point. Okay, which one? That's a fair point. So, for a friendly reminder, let's see. We did Something Keeps Multiplying, just in the order I'm reading them on the list. Something Keeps Multiplying Inside My Apartment.
Right.
I was supposed to be maliciously compliant with my neighbor, but it failed. If you are 30 years old and have a car, job, and house, then you are a failure. I'm just trying to bury my father, but drivers keep honking their horn, and I want my room to be red.
I think I personally have to vote for I'm just trying to bury my father, but drivers keep honking their horn, simply because of the, like logical things of trying to make sure that everyone's dead before we put them in the hole, but also, like, we're digging a hole in the road and just filling it with dead people. Like, why?
I'm with Gwen, because the way they were, it feels like everyone in this story is just unhinged. Hey, I killed someone. Can I bury my body? Yeah, sure. And why is he burying in the middle of the road? What road is this? If this is if this is a cement road, how did he dig it with a jackhammer?
Why did he put a headstone in the road?
Yeah.
But he had the foresight to go, I hope drunk drivers don't hit it. So, like, it's not that nonsensical.
But just drunk drivers. Like, everybody else, no hopes and dreams.
Other people see it coming and swerve out of the way.
Sure,
Do you think he put reflectors on the headstone?
No. That would be disrespectful
Also,
to his father.
What kind of headstone is it? Does it actually...
It's a speed bump.
It's a speed...
Sorry.
I want my room to be red, I think, is the true most unhinged here, because, as you pointed out, there was no concept of, like, wallpapering it, using paint, taking a blood sample, nothing.
I'll say this, bro, like, bullets are kind of expensive right now. I think just going to Home Depot and getting your bucket of paint would have saved you a lot more time and money.
And also, you have to be unhinged to think purple is such an awful color. Like, every color was the worst color ever, except for that red color.
Which he said he wanted because of, like, the rage and the war and the anger and, like...
they made it using colors that don't even make that color. Like, clearly the most
doesn't understand
unhinged.
color theory whatsoever.
No.
Clearly the most unhinged story, I think.
Okay.
I suppose I can give you that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a good toss-up.
Right.
They're both pretty unhinged. I think, honestly, the least unhinged one is probably the advice one about if you're a failure if you haven't done
Oh,
these.
yeah.
Like, that's just good advice.
Yeah.
No.
No, that's
It's
just
sound financial planning.
That's just sound advice.
Well, I could literally see, like, some weird, like, self-help guru who's, like, a Bitcoin millionaire kind of giving that advice. You just have to have rich parents. That's where I am.
And friends will let you live in the attic.
You'd be surprised. There's all those articles like that said, this person paid off their student loans, learned how she did it, and it turns out they just have rich parents.
Rich
Oh my
parents.
gosh,
One of my
yeah.
favorite, like, just joke stories is how to become a successful artist. Step 1, have rich parents.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know. It's a toss-up for me between burying the father and painting the room red. The other ones, well, I mean, the multiplying inside the apartment, not having the realization that you're doing all this, and you're freaking out about the rubbish, and then suddenly you forget that you have a roommate and your roommate is a slob.
Well, at least...
Go for it.
I was just going to say, at least he's starting out by putting the trash away. Like, it wasn't just jump to it.
Right. In some of the other stories, it would be like, so I lit it on fire and killed everyone. Like, there were steps taken.
Yeah, and, like, he believed there was some sort of weird, like, ghost thing in his apartment that he had to, destroy.
Right. Which adds up. Like, I might have to burn down the apartment if I believe an evil spirit is in there.
To be fair, though, I mean, I've forgotten things like that before. You know, it's
You forgot you had a messy roommate?
Well, you know, it's like how you go and you'll spend some money and you're like, oh, I thought I had $10 extra. Oh, that's right. I bought like McDonald's at 2 a.m. after that party.
Oh, that's right. I burned down my apartment with someone in it. Oh, whoops.
You know, I could see one kind of leading up to another. Being similar.
So forgetful.
Similar. You know, just so forgetful, right?
I don't
So
know.
forgetful.
I feel like that one and the like malicious compliance one, I just want to like gift both of those narrators like therapy and be like,
Yeah.
you get 20 free sessions because you clearly need it.
No, the guy for the
Something needs to
malicious
change.
compliance, he gets jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to
He
jail.
killed the dude and then buried him in the garden and then tried to frame the neighbors.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it
no,
weird
he
though?
gets jail.
That's the one I actually feel the worst for. He's the one that I kind of want to be like, I'm sorry, dude.
They didn't get away
You made a
with it.
mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, admittedly, that's the one I think I like. You know, to be honest, what was good about this session, I kind of enjoyed all of them for different reasons. But
Yeah.
that one in particular, I was like, wow, this is hilarious. This is the most inept serial killer.
We don't even know it's serial. He may have had a very
Okay,
recent
this is
personality,
the
not one
inept.
person.
This is the inept committer of homicide.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Of at least one homicide.
Yes.
A singular
I think it's
Upwards of one homicide.
up to.
I think it's actually listed that in order to be a serial killer, you have to have killed at least 3 people.
Oh, if
Doesn't
you've
it
only
also
killed
have to
2
be people that you don't know? Because you can't have motive for having killed them individually.
Well, he's already at,
Oh.
he's already like maybe a quarter of the way there because we don't know if he knows the
Is
person he
this
killed
an
and
episode
buried.
of like CIS now?
no, this is just White Women's Anonymous. I've
Yeah.
been watching way too many of these
Do
documentaries.
you know how popular those true crime stories and podcasts and TV shows are?
I play World of Warcraft all day, so I don't know any goings-ons in the outside world.
Well, that being said,
I just murder people, hide them in my garden, is all.
Babe,
Anyway.
you're not supposed to put that on recording.
hey, maybe
Anybody want to buy my garden?
well, maybe we should step in here and thank our good friends from Random Encounters for joining us once again.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Good to
Thank
have
you
you.
for having us.
Of course, Matt joining us once again after, having him suffer through Lair of the White Worm and then deciding, you know what, let's go for round 2, but, let's not do
It's
Lair of the White
okay. I mean, we drank heavily that day, so I can
He's a brave one.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, were these better than what we read of Lair of the White Worm?
Oh my god, yes. These were much more enjoyable
Hey.
to read.
So, short story 1, no matter what we say about your stories, you can rest easy knowing that you wrote a better short story or several short stories better than something Bram Stoker wrote.
Yeah.
It's not saying much considering how bad Lair of the White Worm is, but honestly...
Just shorten the quote to better than Bram Stoker. And
Yeah.
It's fine.
Take
it's
it. One with
accurate.
it. Go. Bury people in
you
the
can,
road.
you can take that out of context and say, that thing where you have ... better than Bram Stoker. Undercooked Analysis
all I need to
podcast.
know.
Reminds me of that thing that Alan Moore said, where he said that, sure, you could read a lot of great stories, but the thing is, you might try to emulate those great stories. It's often better to read really bad stories because you can sit there and be like, I can write better than this shit.
This is
And
very
I feel
true.
like that's what our dear author here has done.
He's inspired us all.
And to be
That's
fair,
right.
it is better than Lair of the White Worm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I also want to shout out to Nate since we kind of low-key called him out earlier.
I am actually Nate, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, Nate.
I'm
I'm glad you could be with us here in spirit.
I listen to punk rock.
What?
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 Does he?
Does Nameless...
I'll
I
ask
don't
him
know.
about that.
Okay, real talk. I don't know this man at all, so I'm just gonna make up really cool facts about him.
That's right. We got to introduce you two. I think
you
you get
haven't
along.
met Nate yet.
Yeah, in which case he can make up really cool facts about me too.
There you go.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Maybe it might be just cool to rewrite our characters and just try and adjust. I don't know where I'm going with.
I like this, man. I like it.
No, I'll be interested to see what happens when Nate and Matt finally meet.
We collide and then we
the
listen to
cyclone.
punk rock. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Is there anything besides the usual stuff that you'd like to plug? Anything you want to promote?
Oh no, they should just keep listening to these. They should do nothing but listen to these. Maybe while they're burying bodies out in the garden. Or the,
Okay, but if y'all like murder, and I know you do, then we just put out a musical about some weird murdery things happening in a town, and it's almost at 1 million views, so go watch it.
Hey,
Get
that's
to
a
1
good
million.
idea.
Wow.
While
yeah.
you bury the bodies, do it.
Yep. The title of that musical is
Raven
Brooks. And it's based on Hello Neighbor 2.
Correct, it is. Which is also full of weird goings on.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. Some of these stories from Short Story 1 sound like they could have taken place in Raven Brooks.
It sounds like, I wonder, are these all just part of the Raven Brooks expanded universe?
I'm terrified now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, what if Short Story 1 is just someone who lives in Ravenbrooks and is like, here's the weird stories that I've heard from these people.
I want to play a game now based on all of these. That's like they're each like a chapter of the game. So like
my
in this
gosh.
chapter, paint your room red. In this chapter, like you could make a really weird like experimental game, and it's like Splatoon. Once you shot enough people to make the whole room red, it's like mission accomplished. And it's like
Now bury one of them in the garden.
Yeah, it's like dig a hole in the road.
Get people, and then going back, get people to donate to your charity.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
And to make
Oh
another
my
reference
gosh.
to one you weren't in, move a cup with your mind.
Okay.
There was a really good one about moving a cup with your mind.
I
and
believe
turned
it.
out you just had an invisible person following around who moved cups.
That's what else but invisible people?
It was a
do?
really good one.
That sounds like a Lemony Snicket thing.
All right. Well, dig in, everybody. The bodies. Well, I can reheat them. I'll just throw them in the microwave. But
It's too late. It's too late. I'm snacking.
enjoy.
Oh, indigestion.
Oh no!
Good evening, intrepid listeners. This is the Pasta Shade, the host of Midnight Marinara, and this podcast is part of CreativeHorror.com, a network of podcasts and creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. For more content like this, visit us at CreativeHorror.com.